Hi, Black Cat Demon here, and a few weeks ago I come across a Lord Zedd Legacy up at my Toys R Us. Well, I mean a few weeks, I'm talking about 4 weeks, a month ago, whatever. And I come across Zedd and Armored Red and White Ranger. There was more Zeds than any of the others. Well, I kept debating on if I was going to buy it or not because it was $14.49, and with my state sale tax of 6% on every dollar, it came to a little bit over 15. So anyways, I bought me Lord Zedd, and I bought Lord Zedd for my figure art display because with my Power Ranger figure arts, there's no villains. There's no Goldar, there's no Rita, and there's no Zedd. So we had no villains in the figure arts. So what do? Well, you buy the Legacy line, you buy Zedd, and you put that up with your figure arts. That's a great idea. That's a great concept. The figure arts have a lot of detail. They can move around quite a bit. And Zedd, he has quite a bit of detail too. But he wasn't figure art worthy. And when I mean that, I'm looking at him going like, I got a Lord Zedd, yay. So I'm looking at the box, and you got Lord Zedd here, and he looks all evil and menacing and everything, and I'm going, well, that's kind of cool. Then the more closer you look, you can see the shadow on one of the muscles. I'm going, okay, I can do that. I can recreate the shadow, and that would make it look a little bit more intense. That way it brings the muscles out. And I kept looking at it going, well, I do that, then I gotta mess around with it a little bit more. So, long story short, I redid Lord Zedd. And when I mean I redid Lord Zedd, I made Lord Zedd look more figure art worthy like he should have been. Now, what I did to this nice $14, $15 figure that anyone else can buy is the first thing I did was the staff. The staff had a bubble on both sides right here. I don't know if it was made off the mold or what, but Lord Zedd don't have a gem on his staff. So what I did was I took my knife, I cut that, I evened it out, then I took my gray paint right here, which is actually quite a bit of different grays and blacks and whites and stuff, and it's pretty much a really light gray when you put it on an action figure. So what I did, I put that over top of this, and then I took silver Sharpie to it. Now the silver Sharpie, made it blend in more or less like the original silver. Then I went through and I repainted the whole staff so that way it all blended together. That way you didn't have two, your off grays and stuff. So after that was done and everything, and then I sealed the staff with nail polish clear, Wet n Wild. So that was great. Like I said, silver Sharpie, gray paint, clear nail polish. Yeah, I fixed the staff. When it came to the figure, how do you improve on something like this? Well, I didn't like the red. And when I talk about the red, I redid the red. The first color I did, because this is about 4 or 5 different tones of red on one figure. So that way when you look at it, he kind of looks red, orange, pink, a little bit more muscle tone. It looks really cool if you see it in the daylight and the sun hits it and everything, and it does. It really changes the coloring. So the first color I put on it was Gundam GM46 marker. The only way you can get this is you have to buy the Gundam marker kit that's sold in. So anyways, I bought bought the kit, and I used that. Well, this is the first one. This is the base coat I used. Then what I did was I took my black Gundam marker and I traced every single muscle line on this figure. So every muscle was drawn on with a black line. So that was done. Now, how I made them bleed together was I went back over it with the dark red again, and for some weird reason, Gundam markers, when they get together, they kind of bleed. They actually, well, even if they're dry, you mess with them a little bit more, they will tend to bleed. So what that coat did was it made this really nasty looking reddish black, and that was the whole figure. That's why I coated the whole figure in. Then I went from there and I added the clear nail polish. Again, clear nail polish the whole figure. What that did was that protected the bleed as far as that red and black combo. And then I went back over it with another Gundam marker, and this one is GM59, which is a lighter red. And I redid all those red areas again and left the dark areas in the bottom of the muscle tone. So that way I brought the shadow effect out. So I used the contrast of the light and the dark to make the figure pop. I also took in the whole figure because of you messing with the red, you're going to get red paint on the silver and the blue and everything else. So I coated all the silver on Zedd with my gray wash, silver Sharpie. So I redid all the gray on them. I also finished off the hands and everything where they didn't take the gray fully through as far as on the edge of the hands there. So the hands are redone. I also did a little detail on the fingers and the fingertips so that way it didn't look like just a gray blob. When it came down to the lovely blue lines, I used what's known as a painter's marker from Walmart, and this is blue, so just the blue painter's marker from Walmart. So I used that on him to do all those lovely lines. And what ended up happening was also too I painted the bottom of the feet and everything, so no detail was left undone. Another thing I used, and this is something that I thought they should did, was I wanted to do a different color of red on him that I didn't have. So I used a metallic Gundam marker, which is GM16, for the metallic for the visor. And as you can see when I'm moving him, you can see the coloring changing from red to pink back to red. So he actually has kind of a Hellraiser muscle tone going on. So this way, this figure now looks more like a figure art. And I'll post photos up as far as the way he looks. But he looks better. He looks more like a figure art. And he's going to be towering above my figure arts now with better detail and everything. So doesn't it look a little bit more menacing than what we have? So I think he turned out pretty cool. Let me know, what do you guys think? Did I value a $15 toy, or did I make a pretty sweet custom? I mean, I just improved on something, that's all. I did what anyone else can do. So, like I said, these all been redone all the way down. Hands took off, feet took off. Whatever I could take off, I took off and I painted. But this is my Lord Zedd, and he's a little bit different than anyone else's. I even detailed the brain. I even got the black up in there too. So the brain is also detailed and everything. Like I said, he has a lot of detail and everything on him now. And I brought everything out, so bye.